George. Begins with G. It follows in his thought that I am he.
'Tis not the king that sends you to the tower. His wife, Clarence. 'Tis she that, in this harsh extremity. We're not safe, Clarence. We're not safe.
His Majesty has straitly given that no man shall have private conference of what degree soever with his brother.
We speak no treason, man.
I beseech your grace to forbear your conference with the noble duke.
We know thy charge, Brackenbury will obey.
We must obey. Father, farewell. This deep disgrace in brotherhood touches me deeper than you can imagine.
I know it pleases neither of us well.
Well, your imprisonment will not be for long. Meantime, have patience.
I know I shall perforce. Farewell.
Go tread the path from which thou shalt ne'er return, simple plain Clarence. I do love thee so that I will shortly send thy soul to heaven, if heaven will take this present at her hand.
Wind! Harper your cries. 'Tis time! 'Tis time!
Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire, burn, and cauldron bubble. I don't know. And not so many passing. Then todo fall. Full of bat and tongue of dog.
Sweltering gizzard, tagat, boil it now in thy charming pot.
Adder's fork and blindworm sting. Lizard legs and owlet wings. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell boil and bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire, burn, and cauldron bubble. Finger of bird, strangle babe.
It's delivered by a dray.
Make the gruel thick.
Assist the storm. Out of our way, I say.
Now pox on your throat, you blasphemous dog.
Weren't you then?
You, poor son, insolent as me. We are less afraid of the ground than thou art.
Lay her a hold, a hold. Set her two courses off. Lay her off. To prayers!
Now would I give an acre, now would I give a furlong of sea for an acre of barren ground.
Anything, but I'd rather die than I bet.
Every time somebody did something, and those damn pig coppers didn't have a name, they busted me. Fuck them Popo. Popo don't lock up them dirty derelicts on the street. Shit-smelling motherfuckers, hair all caked with grease and slime, sleeping in cardboard boxes, sifting through the trash, talking to themselves, begging. I try to set one of those filthy motherfuckers on fire every chance I get. Now they gonna try to pin this on me. The little bitch was in the way, it's all. Who the fuck they think they is? You don't leave no little girl sitting on her front steps by herself nowadays. They should have known better. What kind of parents are they? Anyway, they don't know who they fucking with. This is Zoo Man. Don't nobody fuck with Zoo Man. Yeah, fuck them, you Zoo Man.
Maybe you can help me. I have his card somewhere. Do you mind stepping in while I look for it?
Thanks.
That horrible business, I shiver every time I think of it. Are they close to catching somebody, so you think?
I think we may be, yes. Mr. Gordon, did you take over this place after Mrs. Lippman died?
Yes, I bought the house from her 2 years ago.
Did she leave anything? Any tax or business records? Perhaps a list of employees?
No, nothing at all. Has the FBI learned something? Because the police here don't seem to have the first clue. Do you have a description of him yet? Or some fingerprints?
No, we don't.
Here's the number.
Good, thank you. Mr. Gordon, do you have a telephone I can use?
In the kitchen. I'll show you.
Freeze! Shit! He dead! How could you?
Annie, her spirit is the important thing, and Misery's spirit is still alive.
Her spirit? I don't want her spirit! I want her! And you murdered her!
I didn't!
Then who did?
Nobody, she just died. She slipped away, that's all.
She slipped away. She slipped away. She didn't just slip away. You did it. You did it. You did it. You murdered my misery.
Boom.
I thought you were good, Paul, but you're not good. You're just another dirty old bird. And I don't think I should be around you for a while. And don't even think about anybody coming for you. Not your doctor, not your agent, not your family. Because I never called them. Nobody knows you're here. And don't even think about anything happening to me. Because if I die, you die.
No.
Oh, I think you do. Anyway, I don't hate you. I only have contempt for you.
Why did you marry me?
I was lonely when I was young.
You were lonely?
Everybody in this house is so busy. There was never any room for what I wanted, what I needed. I wanted the world. And then Daddy goes and gives all the money to Ben and Oscar.
So you married me?
Yes, I thought. I was wrong. You're a small town clerk, and you haven't changed.
That wasn't what you wanted.
No. But when I finally figured out I made a mistake, I couldn't stand the kind of man you were. I would lie there praying you wouldn't come near.
Was it as bad as all that?
You remember Dr. Sloan? And I told you that he said there was something wrong with me and you couldn't touch me anymore?
I remember.
You believed it! I couldn't believe anybody would be such a fool.
Well, why didn't you leave me?
I never thought about it much. I never thought you'd die before I would. And I never believed you would have heart trouble so early and so bad. I'm lucky, Horace. I have always been lucky. I'll be lucky again.
Go tell Annie. The medicine is upstairs. Annie.
busy. Shall I?
I can hear it. I know it's busy.
She slams down the receiver.
If only I could get out of this bed for a little while. If only I could get a breath of fresh air.
Ring.
Hello?
Hello? Is this Plaza for 2295?
Yes, this is Plaza 42295.
This is Western Union. I have a telegram here for Mrs. Albert Stevenson. Is there anyone there to receive the message?
I'm Mrs. Stevenson.
The telegram is as follows. Miss Albert Stevenson, 53 North Sutton Place, New York, New York. Stop. Darling, terribly sorry. Tried to get you for last hour, but line busy. Stop. Leaving it for Boston 11 p.m. tonight on urgent business. Stop. Back tomorrow. Keep happy. Love. Signed, Albert.
Oh.
That is all, madam. Do you wish us to deliver a copy of the message?
No, thank you.
Thank you, madam. Good night.
Good night.
She hangs up.
No, it isn't true. He couldn't do it. Not when he knows I'll be all alone.
She dials the operator.
Your number, please.
Murray Hill 40098.
Dialing Murray Hill 40098. There is no answer.
He's gone. Oh, Albert, how could you? How could you?
She hangs up.
But I can't be alone tonight. If I'm alone one more second, I'll...
She dials information.
This is information.
I want the telephone number of Henchley Hospital.
Do you have the address, madam?
No, but it's somewhere in the 70s, though.
You might find out the time by dialing Meridian
Please,
71212.
Oh, for heaven's sake, couldn't you?
Yes, I can. You can find the number for Henchley Hospital, dialing Butterfield 70105, madam.
She hangs up and dials the number.
BU70105.
Henchley Hospital, good evening.
Nurses Registry.
Who is it you wish to speak to, please?
I want the nurses registry at once. I want a trained nurse immediately. I want to hire her for the night.
I see. And what is the nature of the case, madam?
Nerves. I'm nervous. My husband is away and I'm...
Have you been recommended to us by any doctor in particular, madam?
No, but I want a trained nurse. I was a patient in your hospital 2 years ago.
Well, our superintendent has asked us to send people out only on cases where the physician in charge feels it is absolutely necessary.
It is absolutely necessary. I'm all alone, and I'm an invalid.
I see. Well, I'll speak to Miss Phillips as soon as she comes in.
We hear a click. The sound of the phone receiver being lifted at the same time on the same line as Mrs. Stevens.
What's that?
What was what, madam?
That clicked just now, on my own telephone, as though someone has picked up the receiver of the extension phone downstairs.
I didn't hear it, madam. Now about this?
There's someone in the house. Someone's downstairs, and they're listening to me now. They're...
She hangs up, then dials again.
Your call, please.
Operator! I'm in desperate trouble.
I can't hear you, ma'am. Please speak louder.
There's someone listening.
Your call, please. What number are you calling, ma'am?
You've got to help me. There's someone in the house and he's coming. He's coming. The police, the police.
The man in the mask enters the room, advancing to the bed.
Ringing the police department.
Police department.
Take off the name.
Precinct 43. Duffy speaking. Police department. Duffy speaking.
The man in the mask
had reached my ears. The sound of the judges' voices seemed merged in one dreamy, indeterminate hum.
Then, the figures of the judges vanished as if magically from before me.
The tall candle sank into nothingness.
The blackness of darkness descended.
Silence and stillness and night were the universe.
I had fainted.
Hours later, very suddenly, there came back to my soul motion and sound. The tumultuous motion of my heart.
And at mine, there the sound of beating.
And then the tingling sensation pervading my frame.
And in successful effort, move.
And now, a full memory of the trial, of the judges, of the sentence, of fainting.
I unclosed my eyes. The blackness of eternal night encompassed me. I struggled for breath. The intensity of the darkness seemed to oppress and stifle me. The atmosphere was intolerably close. I started to my feet, trembling convulsively in every fiber. I thrust my arms wildly, above and around me in all directions. I felt nothing, yet dreaded to move a step. Perspiration burst from every pore. And stood in big cold beads upon my forehead.
Cautiously, I moved forward with my arms extended and my eyes straining from my sockets in the hope of catching some faint ray of light.
At first I proceeded with extreme caution, for the floor, although seemingly of solid material, was treacherous with slime, moist and slick. I advanced some 10 or 12 paces, and then I slipped and fell violently on my fist.
My chin rested upon the floor, but my lips and another portion of my head, although seemingly at a lower level, touched nothing. The smell of decayed fungus rose to my nostrils.
I put forward my arm and shuddered to find that I had fallen on the brink of a circular pit. I groped around for a small rock and dropped it into the abyss. It dashed against the sides of the chasm in its descent. At length there was a sullen plunge into water succeeded by loud echoes.
Resolving to perish there rather than risk the terror of falling into the pit. I stumbled against something on the ground, which I discovered was a tray with a loaf of bread and a pitcher of water. Burning thirst consumed me, and I emptied the vessel.
It must have been drugged, for quickly I became irresistibly drowsy. A deep sleep fell upon me, a sleep like that of death. I don't know how long it lasted, but when I finally opened eyes, the objects around me were now visible. By a wild, sulphurous light, the origin of which I could not determine, I was now able to see the extent and aspect of the prison. In the center yawned a circular pit from whose jaws I had escaped.
My personal condition had been greatly changed during slumber. I now lay on my back, on a low frame of wood, securely bound to it by a long cord, which passed many times around my limbs and body, leaving free my only left arm, so that I can, with much exertion, reach over and take some food from an earthen dish on the tray, which now lay by my side on the floor. I was consumed with horrible thirst. But I saw to my horror that the pitcher had been removed. It was the design of my torturers to stimulate that thirst. For in the dish there was meat pungently seasoned.
Looking upward, I looked across the ceiling of my prison.
It was some 30 or 40 feet overhead. In one of its panels was the painted figure of time, except instead of a scythe, it held a huge pendulum, like what we see on antique clocks. While I gazed directly upward at it, I noticed that the pendulum was in motion. Whoosh. Its sweep was brief and slow. Whoosh.
Then, a slight noise attracted my notice. And looking to the floor, I saw several enormous rats. More and more appeared coming up from the pit in troops, with enormous eyes attracted by the scent of the meat. It required much effort and concentration to scare them away, waving my one free limb over the tray in arrhythmic gestures.
It may have been half an hour before I looked up again.
What I then saw confounded and amazed me. The sweep of the pendulum had increased by extent by nearly a yard. Its velocity was also much greater. It had perceptibly descended, and I now observed that it was in fact a crescent of glittering steel about a foot wide, with an edge as sharp as a razor. It was attached to a weighty rod, and the whole hissed as it swung through the air. I could no longer doubt the doom prepared for me by the monks with their great ingenuity for torture. I had avoided the plunge into the pit.
Vermin began to fasten their sharp fangs on my fingers, chewing away at the skin.
I felt inaccessibly sick and weak, but still I craved food. With painful effort, I outreached my left arm as far as my bonds permitted, and took possession of the small remnant that was left by me by the rat. As I put a portion of the food to my lips, there rushed to my mind a thought of hope, a plan for how I might free myself with the help of the rat. I proceeded at once with the nervous energy of despair to attempt its execution.
With particles of the oily and spicy meat which still remained, I thoroughly rubbed the bandage wherever I could reach it, smearing the scent of the greasy beef across my body. Then I lay breathlessly still.
At first the ravenous animals were startled at the stopping of my movements. They shrank along back. Some sought the pit, but this was only for a moment.
Observing that I remained still. One or two of the boldest leaped upon me, smelt the bandage. The scene general rush signaled.
Forth from the wall they hurried in fresh troops.
They clung to the wood. They overran it. And in heaps upon my person.
Avoiding the strokes of the pendulum, they busied themselves, gnawing through the anointed bandage.
They pressed, they swarmed upon me in ever-accumulating heaps.
They fluttered upon my throat.
Their cold lips sought my own.
I was half smothered by their thronging pressure.
If I only endured the horror a few moments longer, I thought that I can say this moment.
Then I perceived the loosening of the cord tied around me. I could tell that in more than one place it had already been severed. I had not erred in my calculations, nor had I endured in vain. Soon, the bandage hung in ribbons from my body. The moment of escape had arrived. I suddenly raised my hand, the rats turned remote away.
With a steady movement, cautious, sideways, shrinking and slow, I slid from the embrace of the bandage and beyond the reach of the pendulum. For the moment, I struggled no more, but the agony of my soul found vent in one long, loud and final scream of despair. And then, there was a hum of human voices.
There was a loud blast of trumpets.
The walls of the prison rushed open.
Journalist sound appeared before me like a miracle.
The French have entered Toledo.
The Inquisition was in the hands of its enemies.
I was saved!